paso Janji Wokra Free Sembrini Hobyo Some Kabiriba Sasisu Run for salvation Is there into intercession of Jesus for sinners will be no more, will be no Mercy will cease pleading for sinners rejected of God. Mercy will be, time will be no more for repentance. Darkness is falling upon the there is no more time. Run for salvation. Is there in don't you delay? Soon the door of mercy will be shut. Intercession of Jesus for sinners will be no more, will be no more, will be no Run for salvation. Is there in don't you delay? Soon the door of mercy will be shut. Intercession of Jesus for sinners will be no more, will be no more, will be no more.
Hello. Good evening to you all. I don't yet nyamiase e wone kwa ene akwanya odi ama ebiem se na yensa yemfatai yensa amra mesua apomuden ho asem ne yensua ne ho asem so kakra yada munyina mase especially omomo Ghana yate se mo hwe pa wo ho no nyame nhira mo sa ade asen o se mo dance mo nya time tie nyame nhira mo pa na yenchere ho ne program ayeye Naza ye chapter na ye central zone no ye health ministry program na ye na ye mamu nyina akwa aba ye churches ya comprise ye sa program na ye Washington, First Nova, Woodbridge, Philadelphia, North Carolina, Ebenezer, New Life, British Columbia, Calgary, Edmonton. Ye ni agi se mu nyina maba beka ye ho ewo ahanom se enumre na wotwe mu yesua na ema bebree na yɛde Nyankopɔn ase sɛ nkrɔfo mu kyerɛ adesua nyina nyɛ obia sɛ ya memeda kwanfo a ɔmayɛ wo ho asua dia bobo degree akɛse ayɛ doctors ɛna ɔmo kyerɛkyerɛ nneɛma nyinaa for free abusuafo mo mia na Nyankopɔn ase fi sɛ wɔyɛ na dɔyɛ wɔ daa na wotwe we sɛ dia yɛwɔ dwumadie bebree ɛwɔ ha sɛ ne nyinaa fa yɛ apɔmudine ho na menkyɛre ho no yɛwɔ scripture reading bi a yɛdidi yɛyi n'anim ɛwɔ Jeremiah 33:6 and it reads, "Behold, I will bring it health and cure, and I will cure them, and I will reveal unto them the abundance of peace and truth." Amen. Pacho me a medi dwumadie ho kyia me yɛfrɛ me Georgina Boatima Addison. Me wɔ New Jersey, Ghana. Na dwumadie we say wɔ Zoom, ɛwɔ Facebook, ɛwɔ YouTube, ɛna ɛsan wɔ baabi te sɛ Yonkodo Radio, Hope for Life, Hope TV, Otebo Media. Nti wobɛtumi anya dwumadie we say wɔ hɔnom ahwɛ. In case say be unya glitches along the way now Messia, you will still get us on those places and watch it again some other time. Say ebi kura wa dwam na ade e kire na ye wo debro so na person saje anko a ubetimi akọ akọhwe e wo honom. Amen. Pamcho bra ye nkyere ho no me nsie trust ne mo mpae. Ejapa therefore yeda wase say ne dey wache ye nkwan biem say ye mesua de. Ye so obebie ya adwunum na de besua nyina yetimi de aye adwuma. Enumre ye speaker nso ye de ne hye wonsa. Yes, so obema ne nimdeɛ sonko a ɔde bɛkyerɛ yɛn na yɛn so yɛtie gu akoma pam ne yɛde abɔbra ɔmo mo firi mmea ɔmo mɛka yɛ ho nyinaa yɛde ɔmo nyinaa hyɛ wɔn nsa yɛsrɛ sɛ sonko kwan so bɛkaaka ɔmo sɛ bere na so ebere na du na ɔmo mɛjoin ne yɛn nyinaa yɛnsua adeɛ no na mmoa yɛn yɛde wei nyinaa ɛba hɔ wɔ dim yɛde tiri sɛ obɛhyira so ama yɛn. Amen. Patro mɛfrɛ technical team no na ɔmo ama yɛn nnwom baako. Wow. Amen. Heaven yebekobi. So for me Angelina nyamisha no nyompai. A technical team nyamisha mo selection mo yama ene. Me refi kakra. Me da aseba ako for that's that president. Oni na so for ni team nyina for that program ya. boy no mo dwen yɛn ho sɛ yɛnyɛ no saa na wɔtwe wei sie mu na mmoa yɛn. Nyame nhyira mo bebree asɔfoɔ ne a doctors a putu wei nyinaa together. Nyame nhyira mo. Moreover, yɛsan da mo wɔ akyirikyiri ne bɛnkyɛ a mohwɛ yɛn nyinaa nso ase. Yɛsrɛ mo sɛ wɔkyena at the same time no mo nsa mmra na mo join yɛ biem. Yɛwɔ number bi wɔ ha sɛ yɛ WhatsApp number. In case of Ghana na wɔ question bi wɔ hɔ na pɛ sɛ yɛ answer ma wa. You can text only, you can call. Number is 020-600-808. 020-600-808. But along the way, no message repeating number is your question and answers now. Menchare hono, me pese mi nipa obeba bedi dwumadi achre. Na topic oba beka ho ne no say coping with stress. Coping with stress. Nipa me ba bedi na achre no, mini ni dada. Oye mi nua ye madamfo. Ti se nye de matro wa ha say bedi ni chekra nka meka say she's amazingly wonderful. Na enye obia say your friend Dr. Hannah Ewu Essiem. She's a nurse by profession. She has been a nurse for 25 years. She graduated from Andrews University with her bachelor's in nursing in 1997, went on and received her master's in nursing from the University of Phoenix in 2003. And in 2020, she earned her doctorate nursing practice from Bradley University. Some of her past nursing specialties include Director of Nursing Education, Med-Surg Nursing, Pediatric Nursing, Gerontology Nursing, Pain Management, mentoring new graduate nurses, and nurse educator. Currently, she works as the manager of clinical service of Johns Hopkins Regional Physician in Columbia, Maryland. She is also an adjunct faculty at Johns Hopkins School of Nursing in Baltimore, Maryland. She is married to Elder Ebenezer Essiem, and they have been blessed with two handsome boys, Myron and Michael. Dr. Hannah Essiem is also the second daughter of Pastor and Mrs. Andrews Ewu, an international evangelist. She is also a musician in Ghana Seventh-day Adventist Church. She is a member of the Washington Ghanaian SDA Church. And the last part to cry says, Sister Hannah Kobekwa SD into a Baosa in the building. Akaba, ladies and gentlemen, church, people from near and far, I'm introducing you to Dr. Mrs. Hannah Ewu Essiem. Sister Nyamisha Akaba, Midase.
My heart can sing when I pause to remember. A heartache here is but a stepping stone along a trail that's winding always upward. This troubled world is not my final home. But until then, my heart will go on singing. Until then, with joy I'll carry on. Until the day my eyes behold the city. Until the day God calls me home. My heart will go singing. Until then, with joy I'll carry on. Until the day my eyes behold the city. Until the day God calls me home.
All right. Good evening, everyone. What a beautiful day it has been. It is midweek, and we thank God for how far He has brought us with this program. We have been blessed all week with this 1 week to wellness, looking at biblical perspectives on how we can take care of ourselves and our bodies to glorify God. May the sister Georgina Addison, I say, for that wonderful introduction. Yes, sister, it's good to see you. And greetings to all that are watching us from far and near, from Ghana, from UK, from the US, from Canada, from wherever you are. We are grateful to God for having you be with us. And that tonight we'll learn something about how we can cope with one of the things that is really bothering a lot of people in our world, which is stress. I also want to thank Pastor Amufa Asamoah, who is the president of the NAXDA Central Zone. No, he's our president. And then Pastor Kofi Entriadakwa, our secretary. They've been very wonderful in preparing us for the program and really supporting the effort that the team has put in place. Thank you, Dr. Bediako and Dr. Frida, for inviting me to be part of this wonderful experience. And then, of course, our media team, you're doing a wonderful job. God bless you. So tonight we're going to be looking at coping with stress. And I would like to share my screen now. Okay, screen is shared. Into the whole week, how we can ensure that we're taking care of the body that God has given us. We started off with looking at the social determinants of health. Dr. Kwame Che, ADNM, MIA, yes, and then the next day we looked at some of the determinants of health, including our physical activities, which Dr. Bediako led us in that. And then we also looked at ways that we can manage our weight through eating healthy and well-balanced diet. And Dr. Frida led us into that. And then today we're looking at another issue that affects our health, which is stress. And how are we going to cope with it? Looking at the biblical way and also what the science is telling us and what we need to do. So we'll go right into our topic for the day. I have this disclaimer. I am neither a psychologist nor a psychotherapist. I'm a nurse, and I'm here to give you recommendations based on research from credible sources and the Bible, and then my personal experience. I have no financial benefit to any mentioned organization or any supplement via questions and answers timely. I recommend the people that may have questions. And you have a choice to make application to whatever we presented this week. But then we hope to say, because we want you to be healthy, just like we want to be healthy, that you will choose to do it right and to take lessons out of. So our topic is coping with stress. Before I go right into it, the Bible tells us in Psalm 34, verse 19, many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivereth him out of them all. So it's many. The afflictions are many, and they come left and right. But then it says that the Lord does what? He delivereth them or him out of them all, not some of it. So we have confidence in God that he will help us. I'm a teacher by experience, and I love to do things like I do in the classroom. So we're going to look at these objectives: defining stress. We're going to identify common causes of stress now you're experiencing in our lives. So we're going to look at signs of stress, describing the effects of stress on the body. Ways with stress in our lives with the integration of biblical and Christian methods. And then we'll discuss ways to minimize everyday stress in the Ghanaian culture, because I'm sure that's where some of the questions will come from. So what is stress? Stress is that picture you see. Wearing the glasses or the opportunity, he's very stressed out. He's staring at his computer. Maybe he has a report that is due. Maybe he has some report that came through that the numbers don't look right. I have no idea, but he looks stressed. Stress is the reaction to life situation. and changes that affect our body, physiologically, emotionally, and then also affects our social well-being. So how stress affects an individual really depends on the person choosing to respond to the stress and how they choose to. So we didn't name the topic today as prevention of stress. Yes, say coping with stress, because stress is in this world. As long as you live on planet Earth, you are bound to be stressed. So we have to find ways to cope with it. And it is your choice and how you go through it that it will either have a negative impact on you or you will be fine. You'll share another definition by Dell and Ola, or say, stress is an event that occurs when a biological control system identifies the failure to control, leading to internal and external triggers. Inti picture, yeah, she's tired. She's had a long day. She's probably not sure how she's going to get through the rest of the day. And she's stressed out. Before I continue, I want us to think about some really disturbing numbers that are out there talking of our mental health. And mental health facts, they're very disturbing. World Health Organization, we have about 1 billion people globally, regardless of whether you are in America or UK or Ghana, have a mental disorder. So mental disorders, they can range from, you have anxiety, you have bipolar, you have depression, you have hallucination, you have so many of them, but there are some really common ones amount for. And another point of reference, to say people with severe mental disorders, they tend to die 10 to 20 years earlier than the general population. So mental illness is really a ticket to the grave about 10 years earlier or 20 years earlier. And over 700,000 people die every year due to suicide. Mental illness, and stress can lead to depression, and depression can lead to suicidal thoughts, and suicidal thoughts can lead to actually committing suicide. So, this is very important to us. Internet in Penny 4, edit topic here, edit account. Or share another report from World Health Organization. Or see, suicide leads to about 800,000 deaths per year. One person dies every 40 seconds. And it is the second leading cause of death for young people ages 15 to 29 years of age. Into your young ones, 15, they're in high school, they're trying to figure out what they want to do with themselves in the future. Early 20s, maybe we're school, we're college, when you're the first job, he or she is no longer living in his or her parents' home, living on his or her own. It is challenging trying to, struggle with work and balancing social life and balancing your own personal life as well. It can be very, very hard for these young people because they're not emotionally matured enough as you and I. Handle some of these stresses that come their way. So that is why they are at a higher risk for suicide. We see about 40 seconds, Nipa is probably going to die from committing suicide. And so, between now and the next hour, you'll be free line, you're trying to say, ABR, Nanipa, about what? Maybe 60 people, if my math is right. If it's not right, please forgive me. I'm doing it randomly right now. About 60 or 70 people will die before we're done for the day. So this is pretty significant. Another fact that I want to point out is depression, which is also very common worldwide, with an estimated 3.8% of the population affected. In Unipa 100, we have about 4 of us that are affected by depression. And 5% of those are adults And then among adults, there are 5.7 that are older adults who are also suffering from depression. Almost 60s, they too are juggling with depression. Care for them. Let's show them that we really truly care, because that is probably the time they need to know, say, they have loved ones that care for them. Cope with what is going on with them mentally. Depression can lead to suicide. And although there are so many known effective treatments out there for mental health, look at the data here. 75% of our low to middle income countries receive no treatment. Ghana, the overhead say, oh, and I say, was so secondary school, you see, when you high fever, I have no idea what that means still. But it be a mental problem that they need treatment for. But you have about 75% of those people not getting care. Make me say Ghana, it say a middle class, low to middle, but most of the people are on the low side of it, and they're not getting the treatment they need. So with that said, can we say stress is bad? If you say, oh yeah, so that means stress is pretty bad. Stress in some situation is good. It's not always bad. The problem that we're talking about today, is long-term stress. Stress not I'll linger around now. To me and finding a way to resolve it. It lingers around, and you will suffer the consequences of it if you don't find ways to cope with it effectively. So our goal is that we're going to work on how we can cope with it. So stress can be good. Look at eustress. Eustress is good stress. That is, may example, maybe preparation for this presentation. I left some things at the last minute, which, I knew I could do it, but I probably shouldn't have done that because of my schedule. But the eustress helped me to stay on task. So I gave myself, say, last week in America, the following day in America, then yesterday I did some, and then today I finished it. So had I not had something that was pushing me out, maybe I can procrastinate everything up until the end. So eustress is good stress. It keeps you on task, and it helps you to actually accomplish what you want to accomplish. This stress is the other part of stress that is where we start having complications. So looking at common causes of stress, this is some of the causes of stress in our community, our Ghanaian community. A new baby, the second child or the third child, or even if it's the first child, a new baby is a new baby. They're going to wake up at 2:00 in the morning looking for milk or breast to feed on. A new job, a promotion at work, and I say, school, homework, assignments, I had problems in the home. Are there any lingering problems in the home? I am resolve it. Be arguments in kitty be or build it up. Or before I buy for 1 week. Yes, some people go for a whole week. Most people usually resolve their conflicts within 24 hours, but it be about 3-4 days, 1 week. Do you know how you're feeling? Because we're for a partner, show phone to say, hey, if you are texting you on text table, until you are worried, you are concerned, what's going on through her head, what is going on through his head. That is stress. You're not putting yourself in a situation that's going to be helpful. You have to work through these problems in the home. New baby, I want to mention this. Say, fathers, if you have kids, please help your wife. Please help your wife, because it is a lot of demand on her. Her body has gone through so many changes, 9 months plus. She's still going through the changes feeding the baby because she has to make milk. She's going through some hormonal problems. If you're not diagnosed with gestational diabetes or eclampsia or something, she's trying to lose the weight that she gained during the, there's so much going on. Now, what for Juma by Ebiana or Mao, because she's drained, she's tired. And yeah, no, nothing about your argument. Now, you're a stay-home mother. Why haven't you done this? Why haven't you done that? It's not going to help. So part of the problem is we need to resolve our inside the home issues so we don't end up in chronic stress. Short-term stress is maybe doing a lot in a short amount of time, like in the example, so I am stuck in traffic. When you get there, you'll be okay. Late for work, when you get to work, you'll be fine. Getting ready for work or school presentation, obey okay. Done deal. It's short, it's done, you're okay. Argument, arguments be said, let's say, the guys that like soccer, team ben be winning, no my argument, team, nobody wants to kind of champion you along that. It's okay. The argument is over. You're done. You don't have to worry about that. So those are little short-term things. It doesn't really have a lot of impact on us. But let's look at the long-term stresses now. Problems at the home. I've already laid foundation on that. Money problems. Sikasem, one of the biggest problems that our Ghanaian community is facing. Obane bema ebikrana we huni yonku sikemu. Na akwaya kasakasa. Ebiana we sisine yonku. Na akwaya kasakasa. Ebiana sikano kra ebi ni ho. Yet the family home is really looking forward to you coming to help them. It's good for us to take care of our parents when they are aged and they can't help themselves. And, actually we need to do that. That's our responsibility. But yet when we have situations that, all demanding money from you, maybe they don't really have a need. There's a need or there's a want. Or pay a special person from America just so she can show her friends, say, when you're person for America, and so your shipment, whatever the case is, I'm just randomly coming up with things. To me, because it's really not necessary. And if you can't, then you need to not have to stress yourself to meet somebody else's demand, unless it is critical. Like I said, your parents, we have to take care of them. But when it becomes wants of others, and yet our full priority, then we are really bringing a lot of problems on our own. It's not necessary. Other causes of long-term stress, long-term illness. Yare bi ewo honomo ebia yare kwan na alenga around maybe krana or share loved one or crown maybe krana when to me and survival yare no na wewu. Those are very long-term stressful situations. Caring for a sick person. We call something compassion fatigue. Nurses for doctors experience this. People that take care of anyone say, you're professional, say when you're professional. It gets to a point where you give so much of yourself where you really don't have much to give. So we lose track of taking care of ourselves, and then we have that compassion fatigue. Into compassion fatigue, and so most of the symptoms are going to be part of what we're going to talk about. So, if there's an opportunity for you to help and relieve somebody, one Sunday be or off and a week be watch it off. You have some time in the morning times that you can go and relieve them so they can also have self-care for themselves. Please do that, because it's really hard to take care of somebody for a very long time and they can end up in compassion fatigue. There are just signs that you are stressed. Signs that you're stressed, feeling of fear. As a, when you think past, maybe a year from now, you are concerned about Obama, the college tuition, can you pay for it? You have some fear, you're stressed out. Anger, very simple and gentle, yet you get angry at it. Sadness, worrying, numbness, feeling frustrated. Those are all signs that you're stressed. Changes in your appetite. Some people use food as therapy. So that's their safe haven. Or you're stressed out. And I don't know if you're a bowl of ice cream now, or share Lifetime movie network or something. That is a bad habit. Energy also might diminish. Desires and interests pretty much out the door. You're stressed out. When you start seeing that, you need to really start thinking about it. Difficulty concentrating and making decisions. Other signs, nightmares, problems sleeping at night. Yet your questions be, the last couple of days, now will be this about Nadam for own to me and now. Problem sleeping. You could be stressed out. There might be some lingering stress that you probably are not taking care of. Headaches and body pain, stomach problems, worsening of chronic health problems, and mental health concerns or conditions. Gaining weight because you're not eating appropriately. And the reason why this is happening, and all the effects that you see in the picture now, and what to the right, is because we have a stress hormone, cortisol. So when cortisol is released into the bloodstream now, when the body is in a state of stress, fight or flight, the body is either finding a way to fight the stressor or flee away from it or flight. That's the normal response to stress. That's a wound here. Not all these problems you will start seeing in your body. In your brain, you will start having that concentration problem you're making because you're tired, you have headache, you have no energy. In your heart, you're going to have a lot of problems with increased heart rates. Your heart pressure will go up. You might also end up in a very bad situation where we're going to talk about some of the really bad complications of long-term stress. Now, we'll share with gastrointestinal tract, and you will start having upset stomach. Ebia, ube start to say, ube feel say, bibi nkoye na ube hana yes when you're ulcer, and that's our appetite, is very bad, and then you end up gaining weight. And for the other side of the picture, Osha Abeka say, as a YYAEBA is representing immune system. Into cortisol, making when the body releases cortisol into the bloodstream now, it causes the immune system to be depressed. So that leads to high levels of inflammation in the body. Inflammation in the body is bad news. And when or joints no best start to say and when weight gain or say Bibika Krana wayare I say cold no cry metamonsu na bibia also cold actually menyakata na malaria Ghana sisi no wayare. There might be some stress that's lingering around your joint. You might have pain in your joints, tightness and tension because you lose your bone density. And then you also see the last one is decreased hormones that helps in reproduction. So you may have decrease in your fertility. It might be some underlying stress that you haven't identified and dealt with. Body it's not ready for you to get pregnant because it is under stress. And then also the sex drive will go down. But I've actually, in my experience, I've heard and I know say Ghana phone them almost stressed out, almost sex drive on the airport. I see some research being you're finding out why that's the case for them. But in general, sex drive, it's like you're not interested in what is going on. So that is all part of the symptoms. Ellen G. White, am I a quote view on why mental health is very important in our everyday life and having a well, healthy life. Or say the relation that exists between the mind and the body is very intimate. Okay. Intimating means they are very, very connected. When one is affected, the other sympathizes. The condition of the mind affects the health to a far greater degree than many will realize. Of course, we can say many of the diseases now is a result of mental depression. Anxiety, we should show discontent. I said, so you always want to do more. Remorse, you're feeling sorry for yourself, guilty, distrust, all tend to break down the life forces and to invite decay and death. Ministry of Healing, page 241. You are only inviting your decay and your death very slowly but surely. One of the physiological effects of stress, is coronary artery disease. So I know Dr. Bediako talked a little bit about this on his presentation. Coronary artery disease, these are, this is where the coronary arteries, these are the arteries that supply Yakumano with oxygenated blood into Akumano Yachimu 4. Tiebeka says slowly from and left and right. Nasa ofa Akumana. Ne formu dia no ye from ventricles, your left side, your right side. Now ventricles, say they do the pumping into their muscle. A muscle so you hear moja in order for them to be able to contract, relax, or heart no to say on surface now the kit away and they take care of your whole big body. It is very, very vital and you've got to take care of it. Now, so coronary artery no end to me and supply those ventricles now. Akomano into me and boye into mojano efemunum into me either say into me squeeze ye. Send a mojano be called to the next chamber now. Na akọ baby SSL and I say into me and blood in feed the other side because a honso so affected because me watch me wa na nyama start back up. Inti no huni na no so no ebia na lead to heart failure. I'm sure some time to come no we'll talk about heart disease because it's really coming up with a lot of our Ghanaian communities. Heart disease is becoming a problem. Into coronary artery disease, say coronary arteries na enya moja na just akumano into me and pompi na no bet me aba say e bia fat bi na deposit o hwe picture no mo ho no mo a say into me MBA ye nyama na aye yellow hono a fat deposits inti ayasana na intini no emu AC na emu AC na emu AC. Eventually it can be completely blocked. Na so we are triple bypass surgery because they have got to take care of that artery that is no good, either to put a stent in it, like Dr. Bediako said, or to connect it with another good vessel, blood na. Coronary artery disease can be a complication from stress. So the reason being, when you have that cortisol release in your body now, and there's glucose that's released in your blood that's floating around. It's no use. You're just under a period of inflammation. Your body is not in a normal state. It is not in a very good state, and you end up killing your heart like that. Now, another physiological effect of stress, coronary artery disease, say a blockwa, nature say, komano, enya mojana, ehiano. Into oxygen in needs part of the heart to pump and contract and get the blood flowing through nature say muscle no a bed die because vidia moja femono ewu, and then we call that myocardial infarction, but in a short term heart attack. Heart attack, you can die from it because muscle no damage, too much. The heart is just not able to pump blood to meet the needs of your body. So you might end up dying as a result. Stress is something you need to be afraid of. Physiological effects, a stroke. Into sa artery see a yaka wasemi. It means air supply. Adrenal with blood because adrenal so here blood all parts of the body need blood. Adrenal and so now OSHA stroke one of the problems that is affecting a lot of our women ages 55 to 75. This is in the United States. 1 in every 5 women in that age group will have a high risk of stroke. Stroke kills twice as many women as breast cancer does, making stroke the 3rd leading cause of death for women in the United States. Nti yanya akwenya idie na me ncho bibi keto bi about stroke se na be ya e bia wo hu a oyonko bia or have stroke and I say e bia wangasa wabushie ni bi wo fi ho no a you think that they might be having stroke because now or you're going to refresh your memory if you already know, then you can get help for them because our artery na making and I say in the brain say a clotwa and I say a clowa na just adrenal I say into me yet. So you're going to end up with neurological deficits. stroke no say ya hwe wasam ya nka ebetimi ama why paralyzed. You can lose the function of a lot of your body part, as most of you know. If it is a stroke, then you need to act fast. So typically nipa no obenya facial drooping, your friend be facial drooping. F no FAST. That's the acronym. The F is for facial drooping. Asa osre anaso kasa sudden. This is all sudden. Nanya be a 2 years ago. No, this is something no but that's what we're talking about. Facial drooping or now one side achia. Arm drift. When you weakness in one part of the body, one side are you weak. My speech I slurred because I do not control all these functions. Is affected because of stroke. And the T is for time. Time is important. Oh, Ghana, over from we emergency medical service. Oh, Kromoha, you will call 911. The sooner the better, because any panel say a blockage and a wing ya. Mutiamane drobi or one am I dissolve sa blood clot no sinebeya mojanebetimi a film na one suffer from the bad complication of stroke. But say a rupture, one will picture that back on no vessel no a pipe. And we a friend of hemorrhagic stroke. And no dear a basana either say any surgery. Because a drone Americano and juma for the blockage, like the rupture no blockage no idea na rupture no dear a surgery. Into either of them no, they will cause these symptoms. I actually doing fast, so act fast. So now that we have talked about, stress and what causes it, how do we know we have stress? And let's look at ways that you can cope with stress. Plan your day and stick to it. This is what I do, and it's helped me. I have a very stressful life, I would say, but I tend to not let it become a chronic thing. Prepare ahead for stressful events. And so if say, next week, program be and train Friday, then you nothing prepare. And I'll say, assignment be so men procrastinate it till the very last minute. You plan ahead and you do it so you're not under a situation where you are stressing yourself. Manage your finances well. I have this bolded because I know it is one of the leading problems that's causing a lot of misunderstandings in the homes and stressful situations in our homes. Take breaks from the news, including those on social media. COVID news, say election back. You don't have to follow every single news just so you can get the detail. The next day, you will get pretty much what you need, or you can ask somebody. You need to take a break from things that actually causes you stress. And sometimes news can be very stressful. Ukraine, sometimes you watch it and you just feel terrible and sorry for those people. But yeah, take a break. Plan your time. Healthy ways to cope with stress. Sorry, I have a thing there, but exercise and physical activities produce endorphins. Yeah, can exercise once, and we keep saying it because it's important. Exercise and physical activities produce endorphins. This is like a feel-good hormone in the brain, like with pain killing, and also improves your ability to sleep and turn reducing your stress into exercise. We've heard it, we're saying it again. I think everybody this week has said something about exercise. So that means it's very important. Regular exercise. And I said, Dr. Bedi digestive exercises. So do your digestive exercise when you eat, but you do need to plan something routine. It is recommended that you exercise about 150 minutes per week. It is also 20 minutes now 5 days are good. 50 minutes 3 days a week, and also but you need to have a routine because it's going to help you relax the body, the mind, and also improve your mood. Other healthy ways to cope with stress, develop healthy exercise routine. I mentioned that. Some self-care can include or exercise regime, which means yoga. It is massage therapy. It helps to relax you. Meditation or Tai Chi. And also look at this data from U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, looking at adults that used yoga in combination with meditation. Osha numbers no kwana ekoso because life is just becoming stressful by the year. 2012, not nipa 9.5% of the population were doing yoga and meditation. 2007, na number no issue to. That we're doing yoga, not meditation. Now, number next to 14.3. 2012, Nipa Bears a 4.1 and an meditation, but 2007, 14.2. So people are seeing the benefits of these things and it's really helping them. So they are sticking to it. So we encourage you to start doing it and sticking with it. Healthy ways to cope with stress, including your balanced diet. Balanced diet, what herbs, vitamins, now and vitamins A and all the other vitamins now. Dr. Frida come have some tray, have your minerals in your food, your complex carbohydrates, and reducing stress, you need to have a balanced diet, not just eating one type of food. Now, it looks very good. Some of you might be even wishing that you had this right in front of you now, but I'm sorry, you can't have it. Now, and then nutrients, how many nutrients am I getting from this fufu? I can see a lot of carbohydrate. I can see some protein from the meat and then also some fat. But green yes, the vegetables I am but we've pretty much lost the nutrients from that because everything has been cooked and overcooked. Into fufu does not look like a balanced diet to me. Into fufu, what I would do is half. Half, and now no mama 3, miss for 2. Now broccoli, steamy broccoli, a lot of it. Now ya plates home. You need to look on the right side of the screen or see my healthy plate. This is a West African healthy plate. Osha, we don't really see this a lot. Jollof na I fill it the whole bowl. 100% of the plate is jollof. Na ya dia nam no atai na pampim. However, this is what is recommended. Half your plate should be vegetables. And then the other quarter should be starch, and that's a carbohydrate. Jollof no. And then the other quarter of it should be protein. So, let's start making these little steps because that is the only way that we'll be able to maintain a healthy life. Avoid alcohol intake. And yes, we're talking about alcohol because some of our church members do use alcohol because that is a safe haven for them. Our young people, they go to alcohol because they need to feel better. And see, alcohol intake is definitely not recommended if you're trying to cope with stress because that's only going to make it worse because you're going to get addicted. Then you're going to need it. You're going to have it all the time. And then that's going to cause you to have some liver problems in the future. And then the list goes on and on and on. High levels of stress may also influence drinking frequently. And also the quantity may be increased as a result. Into drinking and stress are very correlated. So that would not be a recommended way for us to cope with stress. So let's avoid alcohol. One thing that has been very helpful for me, a lot of sciences are coming out of, a lot of places to support this mindfulness. YouTube, just type mindfulness. 5-minute videos, it goes through a 5-minute way of really relaxing yourself. Mindfulness, it takes our feelings and our sensation in the body in a more objective way. Into mindfulness, it's a way I said, you just set yourself apart from everything else that's around you and you're in that moment by yourself. You're meditating, you're taking in deep breaths, you're balancing yourself and where you are in the space where you are. That helps you to reduce your stress. You're aware of what is going on. You're breathing and what it is that you're trying to accomplish. Then you're not concerned about anything else like criticism on the outside and also within because that moment is for that moment. As when you're bowing and you're focusing on, I want to relax my mind at this moment. And that is going to help you to connect yourself with your soul, because you need to do that. And yes, sir, you will end up in constant chronic stress that will lead you to bad complication. Other things you can do: avoid using prescription drugs other than what they've been prescribed for. If your doctor not prescribe a drug at their mommy for my back pain, call stress no more see, oh, Miss Mechia me ya now, oh, mommy, what do no back my fa? No, we can't do that, because you don't know what that medicine can do that it would not have done for Nipaya prescriber. Man, maybe our allergies be na doctor na or prescriber ma or here and no na and kind of listen, because that was not part of the allergies that the person who the medicine was prescribed for had. Into fat how, and it's just bad practice. So don't use other people's prescription drugs. And as illegal drugs, some people use that also to cope with stress. Avoid smoking and the use of tobacco products. Make time to unwind. And this is what I do personally. If you're I have a me time. API just 5 minutes, 7 minutes, but I go into my room, I turn off the light, and I'm doing this mindfulness thing. Maybe I just meditate on maybe a soft music, or even just silence in the dark. That is what I do. And 5-7 minutes, I feel refreshed. Because maybe I will feel why it's so tense. Now, because you are stressed out. But because you're stressed out and you're not able to cope with it that moment. So make time to unwind. Mommy, don't always try to be the superwoman. Sunday, we do other things in the home. Papa, help us. My husband does a great job. I would say Aldesiam is a good husband, because every Sunday, when you bring me home, for the week. Sorry, by 11, 12 now taking 4 hours. And then what is he doing? He's helping clean, he's helping vacuum, and then he's helping with the laundry. How about we try to do that in our home? Because Soka said, oh, the woman is the homemaker. Into what so what they said a soccer na wash now what you phone. So do you really love your wife? Do you want her to die from a heart attack or from a stroke? Because that is going to happen if she continues to live in an environment like that. Until let's work and support one another. Yankopon boy, or see helpmate. One can say slaves to the husband. One say until so let's help each other. Do activities that you enjoy to do and keep yourself happy. So I want to introduce this to you. This is something that, I came up with, and I hope it will help us to remember what it is that can help us through our coping. I cope. Okay. So the C is for confidence in God's promises. Psalm 121, Psalm 91, Isaiah 41. You can read those promises and have confidence that the Lord that says he will do it for you. Open up to trusted people. Talk about your problems with trusted people. I say trusted because I know how if you're not problem you will fear will be our trust and you need somebody to talk to. Don't think you have to keep it all to yourself. There can be a third party if you need one to talk to. And that person could be a family member, a pastor, an elder, a friend, but you have to be able to trust them. Let's try to keep it private and not let them lose confidence in us because what share with us, because then you've really betrayed them, especially at a very vulnerable state in their life. Pray without ceasing is the P. Pray without ceasing because you can get through it. Expect victory with Jesus Christ. So I say, I cope. Have confidence in God. Open up to trusted people. Pray without ceasing and expect victory with Jesus Christ because he's been through it and he has already won the victory for us. It is the Lord who goes before you. He will be with you. He will not leave you or forsake you. Do not fear or be dismayed. Deuteronomy 31, verse 8. Bosha de Bray. So what is your worry? Do what you can and then leave the rest to him. Other ways, songs. So, I couldn't do my presentation without bringing music into this. And there's been studies that actually support the use of music to be a way to cope with stress and anxiety. Speaking to yourselves in psalms and hymns, trust I'm going to say that's what we ought to do. And spiritual songs, singing and making melody in your heart to the Lord. Ephesians 5 verse 19. It just brings you hope. Like, look at this hymn 238. Sweet, how sweet the name of Jesus sounds. Just reading the words to yourself, even if you don't want to sing it. How sweet the name of Jesus sounds in a believer's ear. It soothes his sorrows, heals his wounds, and drives away his fear. It drives away his fear. So what is your worry? It makes the wounded spirit whole, and it calms the troubled breast. So you can find victory through these inspirational hymns. I can't find a way to call them now, like our patriots from before. And I say, another one is hymn 530. These are some of the songs that I use to de-stress. Hymn 530 is well with my soul. Horatio Spafford lost his children, all of them for that matter. Neighboring Kwan survival that accident on their way to London. And later on, when he came to himself, he realized, what else can I do? Right? So I will continue on with the ministry. And he was able to pen these words down for us. When peace like a river attended my way. When you're reading these words to yourself, what more do you need? What medication do you need? Maybe I'm not being here supplementing me, but it is assuring enough to say, you will get through the seas that roll like billows, right? Because whatever your lot, he has said, it should be well with your soul because he is with you. He's not just there. Listening to music actually impacts the psychobiological stress system, which is beneficial to the human body. There's a study about this. So listen to music. Media, that's what I use to cope with stress. Classical music is also recommended to reduce anxiety. And to music, find music that is not too loud, too hip. Your highlights, something quiet and calm like hymns, not what they as support to. Get a support system. Your support system, your friends and your family. Tell your friends and family if you're stressed. Tell them if you need a break. Mommy, kase and then mean to me no aduane ebi anet ye ba akoto Chick-fil-A or na say ye be ba akoto Chipotle. Healthy choices. Na yedi and then mean to me no aduane because I just can't, right? Because then you're putting yourself into a stressful situation. Yeah, papa no so want ya se nya de bia na ye benya aduane no fresh sa. I hear some people cry mo mpa aduane ade ache so. You might want to modify that to help your wife in the home. Talk to church family and friends that you trust. We said that. Talk to your elders. Talk with your doctor about depression and anxiety if you're going through it. Seek medical and mental health treatment. And this say when you will say, make say I have mental and I say I have anxiety and I stress and I need help. There's nothing wrong with that because it is a state that you can get through. And there's help, there's treatment that have been very good to help you get better. And then seek treatment. If you're going through post-traumatic stress disorder, post-traumatic stress disorder, maybe what go through situation in your life, it was very traumatic. Maybe odophobia wu, and I say just things that are so horrible where you just can't you just can't let go. When I lost my brother Solomon in Liberia, I suffered from post-traumatic stress disorder. Every time I met the country Liberia, then I just have the vision of when I saw him being shot. So it was very stressful for me, but I have gotten through it. Because you too can get through it with God. I just want to point us to, I know some time no area with regards to COVID, COVID is here to stay. So bibi ayaka ho asemi na no ebeboa to stay well around the COVID pandemic, making sure that you're checking on people. It is okay, say you will feel sad and stressed because there's too much chaos going on in our world. And then COVID made it even worse. You must stay at home, maintain a healthy lifestyle if you need to. Now, you need to work that exercise plan into the day. Don't smoke, like we said. Get the facts, gather your facts and know what it is that you need to believe and not believe. Right? And then limit again your time in front of the TV, getting bad news all the time, because that too can be very detrimental to you. Draw on skills that you've used in the past to deal with stressful situations. In Sabia, some time ago, Michelle Howey, say na me I'm afraid. Elder way or it really made a difference in my life. Go back to that. If you use whatever it is, go back to it because it works for you. So it will work for you again. I want us to remember our children, because can you imagine you feeling this way? How much more Wabana emotionally matured, how they will be feeling if there's something going on in the home that could be stressful to them. Mr. Take care of your children, talk to your children, respond to their reaction. Say, what started say, or dadodo, and now say, or withdraw, or person or back why you're anxious, why you're more stuck to you, so some cases they withdraw, some they cling to you. It depends on their personality. Maybe a crown was started say, or sign up for the whole and say if they're in that age now, it's okay. Don't yell at your kids. Say, now when they're going through something and they can't stand stress. So you have to work with them and be reassuring. Do it very, very lovingly. In school grade, is declining because of COVID and resuming to either hybrid or virtual or in person, whatever it is. It is still not normal for them yet, like it used to be before COVID hit. So you have to be patient. And you need to take care of your child. And every child is different. Don't compare your children. Don't compare them because they are all uniquely different. All right. And stay connected with them. Exercise. They need to get out and exercise because they too are part of what we're talking about. Ellen White, MI quote, see courage, hope, faith, sympathy, love, promote health, and prolong life. A contented mind, a cheerful spirit is health to the body and strength to the soul. A cheerful heart. A merry heart, a rejoicing heart, does good like medicine. Proverbs 17, verse 22. May the Bible verses see Jao. Rejoice in the Lord always. And again, I say rejoice. Philippians 4, verse 4. Behold, I will bring it health and cure. I will cure them and will reveal unto them the abundance of peace and truth. This is our key text, Ayaka Babisine, and it is still holding true for us, even in our stressful situations. So as I conclude, stress is part of our lives and Christian pilgrimage. And yes, we are in a pilgrimage. Because physical things na air challenge, spiritual, that all is stressful. Make lifestyle changes that will take care of the temple of God that has been given you, which is your body. 2 Corinthians 6:16. Don't forget new start. New start, not say but new start is still a new start. You can make sure you're eating that nutrition, getting that exercise, getting that water, making sure that you're getting sunlight, making sure that you're becoming temperate in things that are not good for you, getting fresh air, getting enough rest, 6 to 8 hours, and then trusting God. And Philippians 4:13, we can do all things through Christ, which strengthens us. And with that said, thank you for your time. And Yabekoso Nayaji, questions or contributions at the moment. Thank you.
Dr. Hannah, that's a big brain. I'm sure. Very well self-explanatory. Pamcho so be was in Bisabia. And I said more. But my who's about Cosi Antibi Pacho bit in your course. Auntie B, but more meeting a mamma.
Okay. Suppose he keeps muting Amy, yeah. Now me person may be suffer aspirin stroke say in case say when notice say when ya signs of stroke na home remedy be
A good question. Thank you. And so Sanipano enya stroke, and I say even for our older men and women, or say Dr. Kato said will risk near higher. If you say for low dose of aspirin every day. Aspirin your friend be anti-platelets. Your platelets, your blood cells, your white blood cells, your red blood cells, and then we have platelets. Platelets no more jumani sa mo boa sinebeya ebia metramensa. Platelets, they help to clot the blood. The body will be back and seal. Boy is so wonderful. How he made our body is just wonderful. Into aspirin, what aspirin will do, say, is an anti-platelet. Into our blood, I sticky, and I say, I very viscous, I thick. Into blood near thick and as a sticky. Fine, no more. The best sticky, make say a clot or not a CC quine. Into aspirin, no boa ama iodine, BBR flow very well, so and stick it together. So aspirin will be very good as a prevention and also sanipano enya potential heart attack and also a risk for stroke. Low dose aspirin, which is over the counter. But please seek your doctor's advice before you start any medication. Recommend Yamawaha because we want you to do it in the right way.
Dr. Hannah Medase. But who send me be back here, Dr. Ben and Dr. Kwame Chejamfi. Into Dr. Ben Bedi Kankona.
I think that, Dr. Hannah, thank you so much. God bless you. We've been so blessed. I think that all of us, if nothing at all, I pick it up from there. Kakana me pese me de eboa said on the chat session, there's what we call the Penn College Perceived Stress Scale. The Perceived Stress Scale by Penn College. Me de session. So what the old person also tested, Newman, Dr. Hannah Kane, what the old person tested here said, who's the CIO no you're stressed that. The scale no is it's just 10 questions. Just answer those questions. And we'll click on it. We'll answer those questions. The score on any BBI is self-explanatory. A bit more says, I knew my Dr. Hannah Kane, you fall because sometimes you may sure say you will be at your many stress. It's easy to just brush it aside. But there's a quantitative way of which my test say whether you are stressed or not. And then I make something there too, and we can check it out.
You already put it in the chat. Okay, thank you.
Yes.
I think I see Mrs. Lydia Odum and Dr. Kwame Chejamfi. Their hands are up. Okay.
Okay. Yo, me that's it. Then up me de boy a friend saying Dr. Hannah can cortisol no se fear of flight in a bar. You dump hormone dump into the blood system no. A friend is saying, am I to me cope and I say fight and I say a flee no. Say when your situation be a boom huma sa cortisol in the bowel system more. Now, if I say or activia is still in the system, they're all kind of say between affected heart and and to me, boy, exercise. The exercise is very, very important. Why? Because we exercise. Now, what you say, hormone, and your baby, our system minimum, I'm an free hormone, and yes, I need them for the longer period, or how are now Dr. Hannah can. A bit of the exercise here, very, very important.
Thank you, Dr. Che.
Mami Lydia, wait me up. Lydia Odum.
Okay, Mpacho, yo, sorry, yo, not me on mute.
Okay.
Dr. Hannah, Mpacho, Yamisha, what Casapa, Yamisha. Na me tie ni nyina na de ba ko a na me ye in the chat no kra when we say meditation na we kan ho asem yoga no eye na so ebi mu anti ase because there are so many ways ukofo eye wo mo de no nti ya mu anken ye am sure obi else say I'm going to do yoga, I'm going to do meditation, and then before you realize no yet different thing cry because ebi mu religion na say culture no enti no yenka ye ho no ye bebo ho kakra na ya ase the good way of doing that and I say enti ase e meditation no sa no ensa obi abetumi correct yes me koye bi me correct stuff for yoga then you find yourself in different world and until na me person ka ho kakra na ye now
Okay.
Thank you.
So we can do that on Saturday because say ABI. So I had some videos that I wanted to show, but for time reasons, Niti, we couldn't do that. But I will highly recommend. So Uko YouTuber, just type in mindfulness and I'll type in yoga. You'll be able to see a lot of views. That means people are paying attention to it, and just look at it and see ways you can do. But even say if you don't want to do yoga, you can just do your regular walking outside, going to the gym, and that mindfulness media. You just need a moment, 5 minutes, 7 minutes. Just draw yourself away, taking deep breaths. So just sit. You can turn off the light because that is too much sensory stimulation for you. And yet too good for you and your eyes and when you're trying to relax. And then you just think about nothing other than where you are, what it is that you are feeling. Don't worry about happy yet. Ever happen when you're done. Just worry about that moment and relax and connect yourself with your soul. Taking deep breaths and just close your eye and relax. That is pretty much, in a nutshell, that's what you can do because you just are trying to find a moment to detach yourself from everything else that is so stressful out there. And Saturday, let me a demonstration if that's what we want to do. For the sake of time, but good point. Thank you for that. Dr. Bediako, you have your hand up. I think. I'm sorry.
Media chill. But Dr. Benjamin Opoku, Ube last one.
Okay.
Yes, I just briefly wanted to touch on what Mrs. Odumkai and Dr. Hannah response and I said. For instance, like she rightly mentioned, so we also sometimes personally we do something we call prayer walk. Walk. So the prayer walk, and mostly, like even talking about even nice place. Sometimes, like a lot of us here, we have a lot of this trail. Anyways, and what around us, the trail, sometimes, it have some of this water and a calm. We say, sometimes even just getting in touch with nature.
Yes.
Getting away from a fear. Walk through the park now. We've been so blessed to have around us. That is the problem. We hardly leave the home environment. It's work. Anytime you leave home environment, and your work, sorry. But sometimes we have all these parks and other things around us. Sometimes just taking a walk through that, even like Dr. Hannah Kayan, having a song. AYS keep a song in my heart. Just even going and praying. I've had that being very helpful. Just this Sabbath, we did that. We went to and it was so nice. Just the flashing of the water, the sound of it is the same thing as sometimes a white noise. Most time when you go to that environment, the calming effect and the sound in the way God in his own wisdom put all those things in there for our own good. We need to take advantage. And that is what this mindfulness, Dr. Hannah, and for religion, but just be able to have that kind of relationship and be that sound environment is what we are talking about.
Thank you. And Ghana format Mesha, a lot of people can say, oh, me relax, say, or relax, no, so not the phone, so, or say, or relax, say, and so now, or chatting with somebody. That's not relaxing. Relaxation is when you break away from everything and you just focus on giving your mind a break. So, you know, I'm glad you mentioned touching with nature. Nature walk is very helpful. Now, we just need to make use of it. Thank you for that.
So, Dr. Hannah, I have one question. Nipa no so did David Amponsa. Mr. Only last question. Nana. Okay, but David.
Yo, Mpacho, Otimenka.
But I.
Mpacho, presenters, ne doctor for Mr. Momo emphasize it. Yeah, try say on one didn't be a problem, no stay or fear what. Nay, bregu. Simon, say be a problem, no ye or yere no, and now kuno, and now be for fra. That's how it's difficult to get out of stress. Mr. Ramo, my monka 1 minute kakra about the home itself.
That's a very good point. So, Dr. Aponsa, thank you for that. I know, so the last time we did similar presentation with the Washington Ghana SDA Men's Ministry, you know, something like that came up. Problem no one more young come and then we expect to say be okay. So we really need to dig into the root cause of why there's misunderstanding or problems in the home. Say figuring it out, we're just fooling ourselves, right? Into what a damn pan at the bar to me and Canadian Tiasia say where I am a bonina means me functional. Then am I really a Christian? Because even Christ, the God of the universe, you know, or the like the, you know, the Radin Paibono extra, or say if I want to catch one, suddenly I did one out, we're free and so at the check. Inti so you'll be not so to me function and I'm to me and living peaceful home. Then there's something wrong. So as we talk about this, we're talking about, you know, evangelism and working through to take it out there and share with people. Now, me I feel so share, right? How am I evangelizing to others when my home is even in turmoil? So let charity really, truly, genuinely begin at home. Let the examples let's do it from home, and then others will believe us and take us serious. Because you have all this problem, but yet you're coming to talk to me about what? Then they might not even be listening because they know said, you know, what you're saying or you don't believe it. And see, if there's a need to, I see somebody said conflict resolution. Let me say, yeah, we need to work on our ways of dealing with conflict because Ghana, we have a hard time of working out our disagreements and our differences as well as compared to other cultures, you know. So that might be where the problem is. But for now, no, I would say, if you need to, again, get somebody that you trust that can come in and help you. Say yourself one as an elder. I'll be to me a boy. Now I resolve a problem. And yes, we'll dig your grave slowly with this chronic stress exposure.
Okay. What? Yes. Yeah, you better end what I sing. The Yanko say, Nadaro, Mama Bibia Cosotin, Amain. I said that also be the my NASDAQ president, Dr. Mofana near Samoa. Yamin shall be brave, so my senior Konya says, and you information at dear Kakra. Dr. Hannah, oh, Yamin shall, no, Cassia. No, no, come as well, dear Nina. Yami Adma, or China say, Bray say, I besaba, money and share beam, and Samra has said. This week, the Nyagro, me patron may say one cry because of Messia or Messia dear. Now, Ochina time near the same 7:45 to 9 o'clock p.m. Now, a topic I no see dealing with dependencies and addiction. Dealing with dependencies and addiction. The obey dear me pese me bonidin or a madam for me pa and Tinyame adma Ochina Wopɛ sɛ ohu deɛ ɔba bɛkyerɛkyerɛ saa topic dɛdɛɛdɛ yi a mesrɛ wo bra 7:45 aha the same channel yɛnsesa no na mommra ɛmɛtie bi na nso yɛmfa mmɔ yɛn ho bra ne nneɛma nkɔtee ma yɛn enti Ghanafoɔ no mesrɛ mo menya ma yɛpa mu yɛ number no WhatsApp number no yɛ 020 600 808 mo wɔ question bi a mo text mmra so nyame yɛ adom a Sabbath awia ampaye edwa doctors fo nyina esi nkonwa na question ne de yɛbɛbɔ ne te sɛ bɔɔdo no ma paase ne sɛ ya nti madaro ma question obia wo de sɛ ebrenti ya amfa ɛma ne haw yenye obia yɛpa mu yɛbɛti obia de Saturday wia de ɛnya agro mpa kyɛw sɛ wa amade bia Saturday wia de don't miss it at the time no so betu dwa enti me and the mpa kyɛw my friend Precious Hannah Dr. Hannah now my benediction on Naya ending for the day. Have a very good night.
Thank you. Thank you, Georgina. Thank you too for a wonderful coordination of the program. I see, sir, there are some points that are coming on the platform. We'll make a note of it, but I would like to read this from our sister Esther. Said diaphragmatic breathing or deep breathing exercises in between activities also help. And see, again, breathing and just taking in deep breaths and connecting your soul with your body. Thank you for that. Just calling things into order. However, because we are so special to you, you use your hands and you created us in your image. Thank you for the gift of life. Thank you for the ability to come together as one family, far and near, to learn of ways that will remind us of how we can take care of this body that you have given us as a gift. Yes, so say bibi in the past to take care of our bodies. Say bibi in the past to make sure say our bodies are a living testament and being evangelists to others now. Now moving forward, we started on Sunday. Help us to make changes in our lives that will help us to take care of ourselves so that we can extend what it is that we have been able to do for betterment of our lives, to other people. So much me, I live a good life as we all await your soon return. Yes, also be bought at the 4 bar line now who buy an agia cordida, ye name ya so share or self one share, wash share, ever yes subiana, yes, sending now Jesus Christ demo. Mayena, Naya Soria, as we embark on our daily activities, Mayankai, to incorporate these things that we've learned in the last 4 days, into our lives as we do a good job in taking care of this gift given us our bodies. And the was it. So I can't abisi sabri. Yabisa way now Jesus Christ of Nazareth mediumunti. And you shama and any day now. Amen.
Amen.
yeah.